Yo, it's your boy Mark Goodman, aka the voice box of the block. I'm back with another one. I'm super duper excited to be here right now. Before I get started, I want to talk about the merchandise. The merch is already in. I got the Good Guy merch is going down the crazy way. Hit my DM, inbox me if you're looking for the Good Guy t-shirts. I got the medium, I got the larges, I got them all together. And I'm just excited, man, moving in the right direction, man. In the meantime, in between time, man, I got this dope guest, this five guest. If y'all don't know him, his name is Von T. What's happening, brother?
Man, what's going on? What's going on? I appreciate being on your show. What's going on, world? What's going on, y'all? How's it going, bro?
I'm excited. I'm glad we got it done.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be alive.
Yes.
You know, happy to be Black and alive in this country. You know what I'm saying? So you know, shout out to the man above, man, for having me be here with you today. So
facts, because I'm glad you say healthy and safe and alive. Because between the pandemic, between us being Black, the pandemic, boy, it was dangerous out here, ain't it?
Hey, dangerous ain't even the word, bro. Like it's critical, it's crucial, you know. It's crucial. So yeah, I appreciate every day that I can wake up. You know, I tell my family all the time, you know, I'm just trying to live to see another day. Hopefully, I can say one day I wake up and I'm 70 years old and say I made it.
Yes,
to be 70.
Yes. So for my viewers who don't know who Von T, man, he exploded on the scene a couple of years ago. He went viral. But I'm gonna let him kind of tell your story, man. Tell my viewers where you from, how you got started in the game, and we can go from there.
Hell yeah. So, you know, my name Von T. I'm originally born in California. My musical career actually didn't start though until I, started getting involved in Georgia. I opened my own label around 2014, 2015 in Alaska, where I was at, because for most people who didn't know or don't know, you know, I was a U.S. soldier, am still currently a United States soldier.
Wow.
And I just kind of did my research before I kind of like, you know what I'm saying, jumped out there and started to do my music. I was always involved in entertainment. I was doing stuff like modeling and playing extras in movies and producing beats behind scenes and stuff. But when I actually got myself out there, I would really say it's actually been a pretty short musical career. I only started really making tracks in 2018. So from where I'm currently at, from 18 to 2021, it has been a wild ride. And when I say a wild ride, I'm not just saying like just dealing with the aspects of the musical community, but also dealing with you know, racial discrimination and stuff that I face currently in this nation, like so many others who just don't want to speak out. So my road has been definitely has definitely been rocky. I definitely have a story behind why I do what I'm doing and why I keep doing what I'm doing. So yeah, California, shout out to California for the love, like, and everything that I'm doing out there. And also shout out to Georgia, you know, because Georgia showed me a lot of love. I'm involved in a lot of stuff that's going on in Georgia, and I'm involved in a lot of stuff in California and all the neighboring states as my name and my brand and my story begins to grow.
Right. And as you move forward, as far as like when you got what inspired you to move to Georgia, Augusta, Georgia? Because a lot of people would have said, shit, just go to Atlanta. What inspired you to go to Augusta, Georgia? Because actually, well, I don't want to hold you. My aunt stayed in Augusta, Georgia. She stayed there for years, and I used to go up there and travel up there a lot. And it's not like Atlanta. I think it's kind of like night and day. So what made you decide to go to Augusta?
So like my military base is stationed out in Augusta, Georgia, which is Fort Gordon, but I actually live in Grovetown Alley. You know what I'm saying? Out here, you know what I'm saying? I got a nice little crib and everything like that.
Yeah.
And was doing my thing. But for the longest, you know what I'm saying, I kind of had my musical career, my entertainment career on the back end. And I was really just trying to make 20 years. So like really the military, my dedication to this country is what landed me here in Augusta, is what landed me in this area, because I wanted to go ahead and try to knock out my 20 years of service and then pursue my dream and being in entertainment, whatever facet that may put me in.
Yeah. Now we going I know a lot of guys in the military. and you keep hitting that 20-year mark, that number, and that's a lot. That's a good. Can you tell the viewers why you gonna hit the 20 years? Why you say 20 years? Because I know about, but I want you to talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I say 20 years because 20 years is the minimum requirement that the military in the United States requires any soldier, whether that be a commissioned officer, which
Right.
or a non-commissioned officer. And for people who don't know the difference between the two, it literally just means that one went to college and one didn't. I
Yeah.
happen to be one of the ones that went to college, so
Yeah.
I was a commissioned officer.
Fuck, man.
Commissioned
Fuck,
officer,
man. Yeah.
and 20 years is the required, minimum time that the Army requires you to spend in to retire with full benefits and be able to, enjoy the fruits of giving your life pretty much to this country.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get a lot of benefits from that as well. So when you got into rapping, was it something that inspired you? Because I know one time I was looking at one of the interviews. You said you used to beatbox while others freestyle on the table, and nobody was actually listening to your words because you were just doing this, and you were like, I got something else to give. So when did you start it? Okay, I'm doing the military. I love it. I'm serving the country, but I want to go to rap. When did that start happening? And I know you went viral, so let's lead to that right there.
Yeah. So when my musical career actually started really young. My
Yeah,
family doesn't have a musical background at all. Like there's nobody in my family that has actually made it to any notable experience with the industry, which I
right.
call it the industry. But for me, I like rap is only one of the many avenues that I do. I actually make all kinds of music. And I've been involved in all kind of music. I guess you can contribute that to being a military brat because my father was in the military as well, but he wasn't a commissioned officer. He was non-commissioned, and you know what I'm saying. So what I did with that, I just what made me like get involved in pretty much in the hip hop genre and opposed to all the other ones is because I have a vision, I have a dream that because I just have so many different experiences with music and as a whole, I was like, why not dibble dabble in all of them? Like I have a mission now to like try to collab and blend all the genres of music together, and I have a style and a mindset to be able to do that.
Yes.
And I got notice of that when I started to realize that when I was making beats, I'm not only able to make hip hop beats, but I can also make trance beats. I can make techno beats. I can make any kind of beats, like, because I just love all music, which is why like I labeled my album Music Is the album that came out in April. My first album, my only album came out in April called Music Is, because I feel like music is everything. So that's what kind of enabled me to kind of just get out there, because I do have skills to rap, but I also have skills to do a variety of different kind of music. So I definitely knew this was my calling. Out of everything that I was doing with the entertainment, I just knew that music was going to be my way to leave my mark on this earth before I leave this world. So
Listen, and when you said you trying to combine the genre, how are you gonna do that? Because there's an audience that has to be there, because a lot of people they like what they like. Like a lot of guys, especially black people, they don't they like hip hop. They don't like pop. If it's pop music, they ain't feeling that. You know what I mean? If somebody writing his rhymes, my man get your rhymes getting wrote by somebody else, they ain't feeling that. So how you gonna combine that? How you gonna knock over that hurdle? Because that's the hurdle that's the main hurdle you're probably gonna have to knock over.
Well,
the
haters,
I guess you could say the haters.
We already kind of see like artists that are doing stuff like that. Like you look at artists like Drake, you know what I'm saying? Like he makes hip hop music, but he's also known as an international artist. Like he has fans around the world, and some people that he's collabed with on tracks are not just rap, or not just hip hop. And another artist that dibble dabbles in that is also Nicki Minaj. She's done tracks with other individuals and in outside of hip hop. Lil Wayne is a perfect example. Lil Wayne has actually done rock and roll and all kind of stuff. So, but for my avenue and approach to it, I feel like my style of music, what my style myself, my branded image as an artist myself will speak for itself. So you don't have to necessarily like pop, you don't have to like retro, you don't have to like EDM or trance, but when my fan base is already pretty large, but as it continues to grow and gets bigger, I don't think that people will more so show up for the kind of music that it is. I think people will show up for the artist that I am. Ooh. And so when people see me, when I wear my helmet image, that's literally kind of like why I wear my helmet image. It doesn't matter what I look like.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you, because as I was going through your content, you started to do that. And I'm like, bro, what's up with the helmet? And I was thinking, do you ride bikes or, you know what I mean? So it's much deeper than that. So, okay. So you separating what you look like.
Yes, exactly. Content. Yeah.
Wow.
I want people to listen to my music. I don't want you to worry about what I look like. Whether or not people think I'm ugly, you think I look good, or whether, like, I need you to close your eyes and listen to the music. And when I have my helmet on, most times my eyes are closed because, like, I hear the music. Anybody who has music that's out there that I feel like speaks to me as an artist, me as a person, just living on this earth for the limited amount of time that I am. Right. I want to be in the moment when I'm making your track, when I'm working with you on your project.
Right. So what do you love? You know, I asked my other partner the other rapper. He's coming out of Anderson, and he was like, because he kind of do basically what you do. He kind of hit all genres, and he does the business side as well. So what do you love more, the business side or the actual rap?
I actually love both, and I'm gonna tell you why I love both, because I'm a student of the music. I'm a student of the environment that I'm in, which I've always been in any, like, quote unquote job that you're in. And, like, for artists that are out there now, like independent artists and artists that are coming up and people who are not really familiar, there is a lot of loopholes and there's a lot of traps within the music and the entertainment industry. And if you're not a student of the art that you're doing, you're really setting yourself up for failure. You should love to learn more about how this industry moves. And every day that I learn something new about it, I'm intrigued and I'm fascinated by just the amount of knowledge that I get to learn from it.
And that's what's so confusing for me sometimes. I don't want to, interrupt because you kicking some gems in a lot of ways, and I hope people receive it when it comes to coming in the industry. And because a lot of people, rappers say they get trapped up in these deals, right? And I'm thinking, you're around so many people that can teach you how to navigate through these deals. Why you always hear artists getting jammed up in bullshit ass contracts? Like, are you not studying this thing before you get in this thing and understand that, like, yo, these big labels are trying to eat you. You got to be smart about it. And I'm assuming the way you talk, you have talked to somebody and you're listening, because it's a business side of this thing. And if you're not knowledgeable about what you're signing, you're going to get pushed all kind of ways and get used. Basically, your money get took from you.
Yeah, bro. Like, we live in a technological era, and knowledge is free nowadays. It ain't like what it was when I'm an 80s baby. So it ain't like what it was when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to hope somebody give you some information. Information is only a click away. If you got a question about something, literally Google is at your fingertips. You got a question about, I wonder what happened with this person in this situation, or should I do that? Usually, if you go in and you type it in, there's usually a documentary or somebody who has already been through it that can tell you something about what they've been through. Even if you don't know that person personally, they've already dropped some kind of gem in an interview that they've let you know, you need to do your research before you sign this deal, or you need to do, X, Y, and Z before you start talking to this person. So like knowledge is key. And right now in the technological era that we're in, it's really the onus of the person who's jumping off the porch, because if you don't do your research, you don't really have nobody to blame but you, because nobody has to tell you, nobody's obligated to tell you anything, but knowledge is out there, and it's essentially free for you to get nowadays. So
Absolutely. And I think not only Google, but YouTube, I mean, so many informative places you can reach out to if you follow the right things. And like I always say, man, if you utilize social media like you need to, you'll become successful in your endeavors. But if you always following women and these trends and not following people that's going to give you informative information, you're not using social media the right way. You see what I'm saying?
exactly.
It's advertising, marketing, getting great information, trying to get feedback, put yourself out there, not running around here gossiping and trolling, getting to the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it's about.
Think about it. Think about it. A lot of people now don't read the newspaper. They don't listen to the news. They gather all their information from social media, whether it be bars, restaurants, etc. The best bar I found out through social media, not on no billboard or no stop sign. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And you know what I mean? So if you utilize social media and get it, like you say, whatever you want to learn, if you get it get your mindset on and stay focused on what you want to learn, and you Google, YouTube, whatever, it's gonna be there. Now, with that being said, are you 360 or independent? If you're an artist coming in, what you take it? 360 or independent? If you're telling other artists and you got a deal on the table, what would you take? The 360 or stay independent?
I would say for that, it depends on your buzz. It depends on how much work that you put in. It depends on it also depends on your predicament. It depends on your responsibilities. I would say if you have the means to make your dream work, then independent is always the way to go. Independent is always the way to go. But if you have obligations, if you have options to weigh out on the table, you got kids, you got a family to feed, you got, legal bills that are piling up on you and stuff like that, then I feel like, if a 360 deal is going to help your situation, then I would feel like take it. But if you got a buzz about you and you know your worth, then I think that you owe it to yourself to do the research to find out how you can better your chances. Because I'm going to tell you this, like most people won't know, most artists won't know, and I don't know how, but for some reason they've been blinded by the fact that they think that the music industry, you can drop a track and somebody's going to automatically hear it and you're going to become hot. But that's not how that works. What happens is that when you drop a track and you're hot, what these labels do is they look out for you and they'll try to pick you up. But you have a lot of tools as an independent artist, like at your disposal, that you can use. Small stuff that people that I looked up, like Prince, owning his own name, owning your own publishing, registering with ASCAP and BMI, registering your stuff on Sound Exchange. All of these things are small prices compared to what it's going to cost you in the long run, legal battle wise, to try to obtain some of that stuff. Like you can go ahead and copyright your name right now. It's only going to cost you like $500, maybe $600. But what is that when you're a millionaire? Like when somebody else already owns your name, what is it to get your own publishing right now, as opposed to trying to come to Universal Music or Interscope Records or something and having them have to do that for you, not knowing that to own your own publishing, it's only a couple $100 if you knock that out right now. Have all those stuff, have everything lined up before you get looked at, because you have more leverage when you come to the table, when you actually do drop a hit single that somebody sees potential in. Because when labels come to the artist, they come to them already knowing that they don't have a lot of their stuff together. So we can offer you X, Y, and Z to make you a high artist, but we're going to take this amount of percentage of your royalties, or we're going to make this amount of percentage off of your shows, or we're going to do this, that, and the third. But if you just do your research and just know that you as an independent artist have tools to use that nobody is telling you about, then you can definitely use that to your advantage by just taking a little bit of the time or a little bit of your money that you were going to put into another track, take some of that money into the production of you as an artist, invest in yourself, and then by the time you get discovered, you already have that stuff ready to go.
Wow. Wow. See, a lot of people don't know. That's the business aspect. And I think a lot of that comes from the artist's background because a lot of these artists come from poverty-stricken areas. And so they're trying to get to the bag. So they're like, okay, I ain't even gonna worry about all that. I'm gonna let somebody else handle it. And then once they get to their situation where they become grown and realize that some big label is taking way more than they're comfortable with. Now they're stuck in this big ordeal, and it's hard to get out. It seems like it's excruciating to get out a music contract, a music deal.
Yeah, and the reason why is because somebody who you signed to has tied so many different small roots to your career that you think that you've disconnected most of them. But then something that you didn't pay attention to ends up coming back and biting you back in the long run. Like, yeah, you're free from us, but we still own part of your royalties. Or we own your catalog, or we own your name.
Right.
Or, we did your publishing, or, we're your distribution services, and you didn't read that small print that said, we get 50% of your royalties if you make it to a certain amount of success or level. Like, it's a lot. And it doesn't hurt to, when you get a contract that comes your way and you're not really familiar. Some people might say, I'm not familiar with law. I don't know what that. I don't want to read. Well, that's cool. If you got money and you put some of that money that you just spent on some of these clothes and some of this other stuff, if you put like $300-400 towards a reviewing lawyer, contact one of these law firms that are versed in music, that have no stake in the game. They're just a consultant. To pay them $300 or $400 or whatever their price is, shoot them over your contract so they can let you know, what you probably need to pay attention to. They can't make the decision for you, but they can definitely tell you what's a red flag.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad I got you on, man, and giving this valuable information, man, Von T, man. And I wanted to ask you, man, I was gonna say hip hop, but since you like a music head in general, who are some of your greatest influences in music, man? If you had to give me your top five, what I mean? I'm not gonna say top five hip hop artists. I'm gonna say top five influence that influence you in music in general.
All right. One top is Rick Ross.
Hey, listen, I follow Rick. I'm gonna tell you something about Rick Ross. I know I'm gonna let you finish, but outside of his music, man, he is so motivated. Man, he motivates me, man. I'm talking about he teaches me how to go get it, man. Like some of his lives, man, some of his stories, man, how he just be talking. If I could just sit in the room and listen to him talk, I'm a millionaire. I feel like. But go ahead.
Yeah. So one is Rick Ross. My number 5 is gonna be controversial, but it's cool. It's cool with it. Rick Ross was number 1. The next would probably be this group called it's a rock group called Shiny Toy Guns. Definitely like capture the sound of modern age rock and roll music, and I definitely like look up to them as far as saying what they've done. Absolutely. as far as bringing rock from the 80s to the year 20 years of being now 2021. I would say another one is definitely is Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy's another one that I look at.
Can't lose with that one.
Yeah. And then I another one that I look at is Drake. Just because Drake has taken his name and turned it into a household item around the world. You can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at that, regardless of how you feel about Drake's background or where he came from, or anything like that. You can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
I respect his grind and his hustle. The other one would probably be 6ix9ine, and I'm gonna tell you why. 6ix9ine.
Well, you got because you missed me with that one, but I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm tell you why 6ix9ine. Not because of what 6ix9ine stands for, and not because of what 6ix9ine is doing, but what 6ix9ine has done. 6ix9ine has used social media to the same thing that we and you were talking about right now.
I agree.
6ix9ine has turned his situation into dollars. And I'm not talking about just little dollars. He turned his situation into big dollars.
He did.
He turned the fact that people don't like him into dollar signs. And he knew how to capitalize off of that, regardless of what people may think about the artist his background and him snitching and all of that stuff. 6ix9ine as an entrepreneur knew how to work that system, and if somebody who's trying to blow up big as an artist is not following those movements outside of how you feel about him, you're missing a very crucial part in 2021 of what it takes to be an artist. Because he is definitely using social media and the influences of agitating the media to his advantage. So I definitely, you know what I'm saying, I got to give it to the guy because his mindset is there, whether or not you like it or not.
That was a top 5 business mind, Von T. I was looking for the music, just the music, not the business. Take your business away from it. Just the music top 5. You still top 5 in the music as well?
Nah. Okay. Not in my top 5 music. If I put somebody in my top 5 music, it would definitely be, for one, it'd be Lil Baby.
Yeah.
It would definitely be Lil Baby. It would definitely be definitely Tupac. It would definitely be, you know, some of the down south hitters like Migos. You know what I'm saying? Like I follow their career definitely.
I think the Migos probably the hottest, our hottest group. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the Migos, and before that it's probably Outkast as far as they level. Like, I'll see the Migos, you know, Outkast and the Migos in Atlanta, you know, because they have transcended, man, like as individual artists as well. And then what makes them so special, even if they may have beef or whatever, they keep it internal. They family, they love each other, and that's a bond that'll never break. I hate to see good groups break up because of financial or because of female situation they got going on. It looks like the Amigos gonna stay intact because their nephews, uncles, they all intertwined together. So it looks like they're good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. I would say an artist like the rising artist Cool Ray.
Yeah.
You know, she's definitely on shit. I love her music, you know what I'm saying? I definitely follow her movements and everything like that. And then, you know, just like my last top 5, another top 5 would probably be Drake. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be Drake.
He could Drake, business-wise, our music. I've always, you know, when it comes to top 5, I believe that a top 5 can't be the same 20 years from now. At some point, somebody's going to get knocked out because greatness comes in. And I think Drake has knocked off somebody's top 5. You know, one guy that used to be on the top 5, Drake has knocked them off. Like, yo, I got to get in. Just like Jay-Z. Jay-Z has knocked a lot of people off and got above. You know what I mean? So I think that's dope because, you know, these guys like Drake, Jay-Z, I got Nas, you know what I'm saying? Probably my most controversial one is 50 Cent, but it's kind of like to your 6ix9ine. He knows how to do social media. He does it his way. He's very aggressive. You know what I mean? And he feeds off negative energy.
50 Cent is the 6ix9ine of that generation.
Right, he is.
6ix9ine is the 50 Cent of this generation.
Yeah, exactly. And moving forward, let's talk about some of your music, man, because you work with Ty Dolla, man. And how was that, man?
Yeah, man. Like, so I originally linked up with him like through I don't know if people know the producer, but KE on the Track.
Okay.
You know, produced a lot of tracks for like Waka Flocka and Roscoe Dash back in the early 2000s when that wave music was up, you know what I'm saying? The turned up music all the way turned up when that era was in. So, you know, I had linked up with KE on the Track. KE on the Track is actually you know what I'm saying, hooked me up with Ty. He actually I got something coming up soon with Travis Scott and some stuff like that. So like,
shout out, man. Congratulations, man.
It was definitely like a leap from like where I was at to where I was going. Yeah. Because for me, like trying to be as humble as I can, like I definitely didn't feel like I was on a level to collab with an artist as big as that. But I mean, I just knew when I got into the studio and stuff like that, we're gonna have to come with it because, you know, I was just like, I'm used to collabing with artists that were kind of like on my same level. Right. And when I say that, it's like maybe kind of indie, but then still kind of signed like in the middle between being quasi famous kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, well, if we're going to make the jump, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make the jump. I'm going to make sure that this is A1 so we can go ahead and work with it. And ever since then, some of the projects that we got that's coming up is crazy. And I don't know if I'm going to get through them all this year just because like some of the massive amount of other things that are going on in my musical career are taking precedence over some of the tracks that I want to produce, but I think it all plays to the master plan. So,
So when you in that RAM and you moving up, how do you deal with the haters? Like, how do you deal? Tell some of viewers, because like when you start coming up and buzzing, people start knowing family members, you know, maybe your homeboys. I mean, starting to get a little different energy from them. How you deal with it? How do Von T deal with that?
So it's actually funny you say that because like it's funny you say that because my career was actually born online. I would say like even though I'm an 80s baby, I'm a new artist because I'm definitely like fully immersed in how to promote myself on social media, like as far as doing Fortnite concerts, getting involved on Twitch, you know, staying up on SoundCloud, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you know, Clubhouse, everything that an artist is out now that has to deal with. I had to do that. So my fan base was born online. I have a lot of fans that are outside of the United States. Right. Huge fan base outside of the United States.
I noticed that going on your YouTube, a lot of your YouTubes and a lot of the comments, man, they are out the country.
So yeah, they out of here.
Yeah.
So like on one of my YouTube comments, like somebody had commented, they were like, you know, Von T, you know, he's the GOAT, you know, and all of that. Somebody said something like that. And then I saw a comment under that comment, and it was like, Von T ain't no GOAT. I know Chad. That's what they used to call me back in high school. Chad was my nickname. I know Chad from high school. How you gonna say he a GOAT? I used to go to high school with this man. He, you know what I'm saying? So I looked at that. I didn't respond. I just read it and laughed.
Yeah.
I think the best way to deal with situations and comments like that, because I also have a performance at my family reunion coming up in September, and they booked me as a special performance. It's gonna be the first time my family gets a chance to see me perform in front of them as not just a family member, but as an artist, because I got something to do the next day, so I can't stay for the whole event.
Right.
But
love.
I know there's gonna be some people who are salty, you know what I'm saying, kind of mad, whatever, that's cool. I look at people, like when I tell artists this, like you don't really have to respond to people who don't like you because your haters support you more than your supporters. And people say like, how is that? I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you drop something on social media or you drop something on YouTube or anything like that, you have your supporters, they'll drop a comment, oh, I love this is hot, blah, blah, blah. And then they're done, they go back to their life. Yeah. When a hater comments and they take time out of their day to comment on your stuff, they not only comment, but then they share it because they're so upset that what you're doing, they want to show somebody else, man, look at this clown right here, man, he dropped something and this nigga he can't rap, he can't sing, this thing got to stop. They may share that to like 5 or 6 different people. You calculate, you times your haters sharing that with like 5 or 6 people, you know, times that number, whatever that is. Yeah. Well, what your haters just done is that he has just exposed your music to a couple 100 people.
Right.
And then everybody is not going to feel the same way because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So your haters actually gained you about. Out of 5 people he exposed it to, you gain like 2 more haters, but you gain like 3 fans at the same time. They're like, oh, I don't know what you don't like about him, but I like him. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to go buy his music.
Exactly. Hey, it works.
So I appreciate it.
I always say negative energy will sell too. You know what I mean? Because you that's what they drawing. And like I say, a lot of guys like 50 Cent, 6ix9ine turning into.
I was just about to say
capitalize off of, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I was about to say. So 50 Cent and 6ix9ine, they do stuff to keep you in their mouth, to keep you in your mouth. So when you speak, it doesn't matter what you say about it. If you really didn't want to support them, the only thing that you can do is not talk about them.
Right.
But the more that you talk about them in 2021, moving forward in social media era that we're in, regardless of how you feel, every time you drop a comment or every time you go check out what they're doing, that's a click, that's a like, that's a comment, that's something that is going to generate some kind of revenue towards the person. And they have figured out how to capitalize on that. And that's genius. To me, that's genius.
Facts. now, with being in the music industry and being black, are we forced now in 2000? I mean, I ain't gonna say we because I don't rap. I'm media, but even me in my situation, me being media and black, are we forced to be conscientious and woke? Like, are you forced to be a woke artist and not talk about bling bling fucking hoes all the time because you have knowledge and but you know what that you know the stuff that sells. So are you forced to kind of be more conscientious rapping? Or are you forced because I listen to your music? Yours is really just a good vibe music, but I'm talking about like in general when you're talking to hip hop. Are we forced to be more conscientious because we know now?
I don't feel like that I am. I feel like that is a bias that's placed upon us. Like, yeah,
Right.
I got the four category music too: money, clothes, cars, hoes. I got that too. But you know what I'm saying? At the same time, if I feel like there's a track that I want to make that ain't even in the realm of hip hop, like I make music from the inside, from internal. So if I'm making something that is not rap, or then that's the reason why I won't tie myself to a genre. Just because I know how my brain works. I'm all messed up here. You know what I'm saying? I got like a lot of stuff be going on in my head.
Yeah.
There might be something that a rap track won't capture. And at first, when I did it, like some of my diehard rap fans, they were listening to some of that stuff and they were like, I don't rock with that. That's cool. But it's cool that you don't rock with it because there's somebody else out there that will rock with it.
Yeah.
And I am doing this for the world. I'm not doing this for a specific group of people. I'm doing this as a mission to connect all the dots of music together. And it's going to work. I know it's going to work. And the only reason why I say I know it's going to work is because you can see it now where music is going, where we were at before and where we're at now. Like, blending music together is what people want. You don't ever know what you're going through in your mind that's going to make you click on something that's going to make you want to listen to it. So I feel like if an artist is out there and they're black, they're African American, don't be afraid to like step out the box, like make something that's a timeless record that's going to play forever. Make something that comes from your heart, you know.
So moving forward, what does Von T got going forward, man? What does he got going? Let the viewers know what he got coming up, what he got going, what you look forward to.
Well, currently, like, I'm still going through my own personal situation, you know what I'm saying, with the military, which I'll talk about that, you know what I'm saying. I'll get a chance to talk to you about that.
Hey,
but
talk about it, cause we ain't got nothing but time, brother. We can talk about it, but go ahead.
So, like I'm currently I'm still in an active duty military member. I just did my last interview like a few weeks ago, which is getting massive feedback. And what pretty much happened was, because of hip hop, and this is what made this situation so funny, right? Is because, like, I make all kinds of music and everybody knows that. But my hip hop genre was targeted by the US Army, you know what I'm saying, as being unpatriotic. It was labeled as being, as I was a thug, and it was labeled as being inappropriate for the military. And you know what I'm saying? So it didn't really even happen until a music video that I made hit World Star, and then got like a lot of views on World Star. And after that happened, I got called into the office, right? It's like, yeah, it's clear you got musical talent, but you need to use your musical talent appropriately. Me, I'm thinking to myself, what is appropriately? What are you saying? Because, like, none of my music before any of this stuff ever happened, like, I never connected the dots to people that I was an Army soldier and I was doing music. I wanted my music to speak for itself. So I didn't feel the need to tie the military to my music because, hey, I'm at 17 years. I'm planning on getting out anyway. Let my music catalog marinate. From seeing other local artists of where I come from, it kind of takes a little time for you to get out there. So I'll let that music kind of circulate, let people kind of warm up to me, and then I go about it that way. Yeah. But I wasn't expecting a video to hit World Star. When that happened, that's when I kind of found out how racist the military was. Yeah. They tried to get me to take my music videos down off the internet. They tried to get me to stop making hip hop, where essentially I got punished for it. I got charged. Yeah. I got charged for making hip hop music in the military. told me I was unpatriotic. Nobody else in no other country has to deal with stuff like this. You know, they make music in their country, whether or not they're in their military or not. They're champion because it's their country. This is the only country because we're supposed to be quote unquote united, right. But we're not. Those rules only apply to a certain kind of people in this country. So for me, when they tell me my music is unpatriotic, I'm trying to figure out what part, because we're supposed to be quote unquote united. We come from different parts of this country. How you grew up being a white man, I didn't grow up being a black male. I grew up around what I grew up around. I fought through the adversity to make it to where I'm at now, but it still doesn't mean that I grew up eating apple pies every Sunday and my mom had dinner cooked on the table and everything was good. I went to a private school and all of that. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
How am I going to make music about that if that's not where I grew up from?
Right.
I don't understand it. Somebody, I try to ask somebody explain that to me. How am I going to make music about rock and roll vibes, you know what I'm saying, or stuff that they may like when I didn't grow up around that. So yeah, my music video had stuff that I grew up around.
Right.
Girls in the club, throwing money, hanging out with my niggas, doing stuff like that. It doesn't make it unpatriotic. It just means that I grew up in another part of America, in the United States of America, that you didn't.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that I should be punished for it. So pretty much when that happened, I went on the offense. Instead, they thought that I was going to close up and not talk. I tried to go through all of the diplomatic ways that the Army had to try to make sure that that justice was found, even though I kind of knew that the outcome was not going to be in my favor because it was ruled upon a bunch of old white guys. So I did, for all the veterans out there, you know what I'm saying, I did go through all of the military channels, equal opportunity, inspector general reports, you know what I'm saying, appeal systems and all of that stuff, just to give them a chance to correct that wrong. When it didn't happen, that's when I turned to social media. That's when I turned to interviews with radio shows. I was like, okay, well, if the military wants to try to keep this behind closed doors, this whole event, I'm going to take that whole packet that y'all gave me and I'm going to clear everybody's name out of it and get it cleared for public release and give it to news stations. So right. I think everybody needs to see what's going on here. And then when I did that, that's when Congress, the Georgia Congress kind of got involved, investigated the military. They kind of backed off a little bit, but the ball had already been rolling. So right. That's where we're at now, as far as that situation goes. But however, that still didn't stop me from doing what I was doing with my right. music. Right. Even though I was going through that stuff, I didn't want that to take away from my creativity. So when you ask me what I got going on, bro, literally, I have everything going on. I got 2 music videos dropping this year. I'm shooting a short Netflix series out in California. Wow. Sony Music has signed me. I'm working with them. I still got a lot of A-list artists that I'm working on. Every day on Instagram, I'm getting tagged in something about my story about the military and how it's wrong. And I got new music that's dropping and it literally has not stopped. Like I got shows on performances coming up, award shows, my hometown award show and everything like that. So man, like if anybody wants to like find out exactly what's going on with me, because it'd be like too much for me to tell you because it literally has exploded. Yeah, please give my viewers. They definitely can follow me, you know what I'm saying, on social media. Kovu, KOVU 1278 or just type in Vonti. Yeah. On Google. I mean, I pop up everywhere because I didn't be quiet, you know.
Yeah, and so, I think I want to also just encourage you to keep going. Adversity always comes in different shape, forms, and fashion, and you never know which door did it come out of, and you just have to keep going forward. And I want to commend you and don't stop. You know what I mean? Because one thing about having a gift which you have, it'll always make a way for itself. No matter what adversity comes, your gift will always shine bright. So no matter what the military does or try to do, it's not going to stop your creative mind and your creative thinking. You know, intelligent men make smart decisions, and you making a lot of smart decisions. And I just want to thank you so much for spending the time with me, spending time with the good guy. Listen, when the next show or the closest show, let me know. Send me some tickets, man. I would love to see you in person, take some pics, put it on the gram. You know how we do with social media, brother. Thank you so much. You got anything else you want to tell my viewers?
I like I said, I just appreciate you having me on your show, man. I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying, people actually are you know what I'm saying, are starting to find out more about me, especially in the United States, since you know, I know my fan base blew up overseas, but now that, you know, America, it takes them a little time to catch up, because I know everybody's radio stations are flooded with what you hear. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the process on that. I know my time is coming. So like individuals like yourself that take time out of your day to interview somebody like me, you know what I'm saying, up and coming, and actually see the potential. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate every single person that ever shares or follows anything that I do. I appreciate that. I know I don't have enough time in the day to try to comment and try to respond back to every message I get on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. But if I did have that time, I would do it, because I definitely appreciate everybody down to the individual name. I just don't have the time to do it, but I still appreciate them. I want them to know it's not that I'm being shallow. It's just that there's only 24 hours in a day. I can only do so much.
I know it. And that's what it is, man. It's your boy, Mark Goodman, a.k.a. the voice box of the block. Von T, we see you, brother.
Yo, man.
Send me out of music.
Extra. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't like to play with the spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He rub up the packs and he fly in. DHL became a new best friend.
No matter the topic, whatever it is, then you know that we got you. We spread the knowledge. We talk about politics, even the gossip. You can hear us on Spotify or tune in to YouTube. You even can watch us. I know we got haters. I can promise you one thing, that we never stop it. It's the Good Guy Podcast. I ain't bragging, but we are the greatest. It's the Good Guy Podcast.